Hi, I'm Cynthia Izaguirre in Dallas with a look at what's making headlines in North Texas. We've learned a baby at the center of a surrogacy rights case was born in Dallas. It all started in Alaska. A couple hired a surrogate named McKenna West to have their child. West says once they found out the baby has a congenital heart issue, they wanted to terminate the pregnancy. So McKenna traveled to Texas to seek legal protection. Attorney General Ken Paxton secured an emergency order to keep that child in Texas for necessary treatment. And according to our partners at the Texas Tribune, the baby is doing well. The biological parents say West had originally agreed to terminate the pregnancy. A parental rights hearing is set for later this month. A family is doubling down and demanding accountability after they accused a Royce City police officer of abuse. This video went viral earlier this month. The family told us police got a call about people arguing at a public pool, and those officers grabbed one woman's hair while pushing another in the face several times after responding to that dispute. Family members just met with the Royce City police chief to watch body cam footage and video from the dash cam. A family representative says they want you to see it too.
Some stuff that you didn't even see on the video that's released public. This mother didn't even know how her daughter's mouth was busted. Even though Royce City has whatever policy, is asking and demanding the police chief to release this video.
We have requested that body cam video as well, and we'll update WFAA.com as soon as we hear back from Royce City Police. The officer has been placed on standard administrative leave while this investigation takes place. The Next Generation Action Network claims he has several complaints against him. Thousands of students just came back to class right in the middle of a stretch of 100-degree days. Now one lawmaker wants to push back the school year to September. As Jobin Paniker shows us, it's an issue that impacts testing, local control, and the grid.
It has been a scorching start to the school year.
Every once in a while, you just have to come back and make a correction.
Texas State Rep Jared Patterson of Denton County is writing a bill to push back the start of school to September and end by late May, maybe June.
It doesn't make sense for our economy. It doesn't make sense for our students and teachers. It doesn't make sense for the grid. This is one of the dumbest things that we do as a state.
Patterson calls it the Save Our Summer Act.
There's really been a 40-plus year Texas tug of war about the school calendar.
SMU education professor Watt Black tells us these earlier starts began in the 80s with the accountability movement. It's also a question of local control of the calendar.
They have no leeway over when they take their state tests, and so they want to front load their instructional days and get as much instructional time as they possibly can.
We are simply talking about protecting the health and welfare of our students, our teachers, our athletes, our band members, our cheerleaders, from the sweltering heat.
Patterson will face Democrat Joe Mays, who doesn't mind the conversation. It just isn't a day one priority.
It felt more like a distraction of a couple of different issues.
He thinks data centers are bigger burdens on the grid, thinks public education needs another look.
I don't believe our public schools are appropriately funded.
Patterson isn't saying it's the silver bullet to the grid or education. The response he's gotten has been bipartisan.
Saying, hey, I'm 100% on board, I'm behind you. It's been almost exclusively positive.
He filed a similar bill 2 years ago. It didn't make it out of the Public Education Committee then. These triple-digit temperatures may turn up the heat this time. In Denton County, I'm Jobin Paniker.
On Thursday, board members met for the first time since an outage halted all online services at JPS Health in Fort Worth. But some patients told Mitty Hicks they still don't know when the issue will be resolved, and some are afraid to identify themselves.
So JPS Health Network board members expressed a lot of gratitude during Thursday's meeting. They thanked staff, patients, and even the community for being patient with them amid all of these widespread outages. But for the patients and even the loved ones that we spoke to, they say it's simply not enough, and they want to hear more about how the hospital will move forward.
This is ridiculous.
We're on the phone with Susan Goodrich, who is trying to get information about her son. She's in New Mexico. He's currently in the ER at JPS. And she says it's been hard to get information about where he's at because of the health system's outages.
Nobody was able to tell me if he'd been admitted, where he was, if he'd left. nothing. They couldn't tell me anything. I was told, we're sorry, we're in a controlled network outage. There's nothing we can do.
We've heard from other people who didn't want to go on camera, fearing retaliation from their care teams. But one patient told us in a text that he hasn't been able to get his medication, all while he's experiencing stomach pains without it.
I do want to take this moment to express my sincere gratitude for the extraordinary support JPS has received as we continue working to fully restore to safeguard our network.
While board members thank the community for support during Thursday's meeting, as they navigate widespread system outages, they did not go into detail about how it began on August 3rd, and no word yet on the health system's plans to avoid disruptions in the future. In the meantime, patients and their loved ones are hoping that outage ends soon.
And they need to put people first, not profits.
In Fort Worth, I'm Mitty Hicks.
WFAA has repeatedly reached out to JPS Health for an update on this outage. The health group says it's planning to issue some guidance soon and will be sure to share it when they do. As more students head back to school, many North Texas school districts are making sure their students aren't spending too much time on a screen. Our Natalie Haddad looks into the ways they're working to strike the right balance.
Laptops and tablets are classroom staples, but some North Texas school districts are working to make sure students aren't spending too much time on them. The goal is not about fewer screens or even having no screens. It's about better balance. Screen time guidelines are designed to improve focus and build healthier habits. Like Garland ISD, for electronic devices, they use the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, students look away from their screen for 20 seconds and at something 20 feet away. Teachers are also encouraged during this time to mix in movement, handwritten work, and offline reading.
Our district led the way with our Student Health Advisory Committee and got the community partners, the parents, the involved individuals to go ahead and put a plan together to put some guidelines to what we should do.
District leaders like Coleman Bruman with GISD say this is successful. It is making a difference with better participation, more cooperation, and stronger relationships in the classroom.
Our whole hallmark is that technology supports good instruction.
And now other districts are following suit, like Richardson ISD. They are also adopting screen time guidelines. Students now allowed just 20 to 30 minutes a day. And Argyle ISD, students allowed as little as 30 minutes with their electronic devices and as much as 100 minutes or 15 minutes per class, depending on a student's grade level.
In terms of the students actually being able to connect with one another, that's the biggest improvement, because students learn best when they can see another student be successful. Well, you can't do that when you're buried in a screen. You've got to be able to interact with the teacher, get the appropriate feedback. And so that's really pushed the needle for our kids.
So no, screens are not leaving the classroom, but districts are certainly rethinking how much of the school day they should take up, using technology when it helps and putting it away when students learn better without it, all in an effort to give students more time focused on the lesson and on each other. In Garland, I'm Natalie Haddad.
And those are your headlines from North Texas.